All right, let's do this. Good morning, everybody. Sorry I'm running a little late. On Wednesdays and Fridays lately, have had physical therapy for my back, which has been a problem for a little while. And I only get home at like 8:45, and then I got to cram food in my mouth, and we got to worry about what's happening with all this hair. Man, I really need a haircut. It's time. But anyway, I'm here. TeamView's here. I thought I saw the Trinity lurking in the chat. That would be super cool if he were here today. But good morning. Yesterday we made some major headway on our achievements engine for the casino, and I would love to keep moving on that. So we're gonna keep adding achievements. We're gonna talk about next. We're gonna talk about the slot stuff because there's a lot of achievements in slots that we could do. But I need to figure out exactly how that's gonna work. I also thought it'd be fun to add our timer in today, so let's do that. We're at 9:11, so let's do an hour and 49 minutes. Alexa, set an hour and 49-minute timer.
1 hour and 49 minutes, starting now.
Boop. There we go. A little light went on the clock. Once we get under an hour, it'll fill in, and the little dots will go away. So we'll keep our timer rolling, just to keep an eye on what we're doing and how we're doing it. So that's the plan for today. So I ran into an issue. This is super cool, isn't it, Adev? I love it. Good morning, Taylor and Code. Wow, we got some good folks here today. I should check and see if the casino is running. It probably is not. The clock, Adev, there's nothing special about it per se. It is it's called the Echo Wall Clock, and you can buy it on Amazon. But it pairs with one of your devices, and then every time you talk to it, it will. Every time you set a timer or whatever, I have another one in my kitchen. So when you set a timer, you don't always have to ask like how much time's left or whatever. It'll keep track of those timers for you. In fact, watch. I'll just set a 1-minute timer to show you. Alexa, set a 1-minute timer.
Second timer, 1 minute, starting now.
And so you can see how it's counting down that 1 minute. Normally it just looks like a clock, but you get these little lights that show up, and you can see it tick down as we get down to our last minute, our last 60 seconds. But yeah, I think this is pretty awesome. And it even manages to handle multiple timers. So it's super, super cool. And it's affordable. I think this is like a $20, $25 clock. Yeah, the Echo Wall Clock's pretty cool. Actually, I have one other thing to show you. I think there's only 2 designs. Before you order anything, Adev, they also make this one. This is another Echo Wall Clock, but it has Mickey with the hands and whatever. It does exactly the same thing. This one has a matte finish, and because I have all these lights and things around, this one you can see. Let me give you a nice glare if I can do that. Like those are the lights that are shining on me. So this ends up with a lot of glare on it because it has a very glossy face on it. Alexa, stop. But I really like Mickey, so I think this is going to end up living in my basement or something. Maybe it's a way for me to set a timer for my son. But this itself doesn't listen. This doesn't have Alexa or anything built into it. It's only what we call an Alexa gadget. And this pairs with one of your devices, one of your Echoes, and then it recognizes any timers that you have. So this is something that I really like, and I really like this Disney one. I just wish they hadn't put the shiny face on it. That's all. So set that down. Get back to what we're doing. But yeah, I'm a big fan of that device. If you guys didn't know, like I have a whole host of devices here. Have you guys seen the glasses? This is another cool device that you may not be aware of. But this is actually, I'm not going to put them on right now, but they're Echo glasses. So they actually have speakers and microphone built into the arms of the glasses, and it pairs with your phone, and you can wear it around and basically have Alexa in your ear all day, which is pretty awesome. Anyway, I could talk about devices all day. Yeah, I submitted to get it too. I'm really hoping it's not bone conductive. No, it actually has a little speaker that sits right over your ear canal, so it's not bone conductive at all. And Taylor and I also submitted for this. One of the folks we have here regularly is a person named Gold Zulu who's in the UK. And he got his invite, but they're only available in the United States when you get your invite. And so he was like, well, what am I going to do with this? And I was like, I'll take it. And so he bought it and paid for it, which was super generous of him. And then I reimbursed him. To answer TeamView's question, how do you afford all of these devices? I work for Amazon. I work on the Alexa team. And so I, every time I buy a device, in fact, I have the new Fire TV that was just announced last week. I have the new Fire TV arriving today at my house. And then the new Echo and the new Echo Dot, which are like the globe, they're round. Those will be delivered on the day that they come out. So I'll have those to show off and whatever if you guys haven't seen those yet. And as soon as I can get the Echo Show 10, the new one that rotates and like the screen can move and stuff, that will be here and we'll talk about that device. So TeamView, I don't pay for the devices myself. I mean, I do pay for them, but then they reimburse me for all that stuff. Now, every job at Amazon is not that way. It's only because I'm on the Alexa team and I'm very publicly facing that I have the opportunity to get all of these devices here in my house. There are lots of folks, even people that are like, software developers that are actually building the dev portal and stuff. They probably are not expensing every device and having a whole lab of them here in their house. But it's necessary for the kind of work that I do. I want to be able to see and show how something looks on an Echo Show or an Echo Spot, or even little things like this one with the clock on the front. You can change these words that are showing. And so I need to be able to try that and do it and demonstrate it to people. And so that's why having all these devices is really, really good. So Adev, glad to hear that you get all your devices reimbursed as well. It's a really nice perk. Again, I've purchased enough Alexa devices of my own money for my home, but all the ones that are here in the lab, for the most part, have been paid for by Amazon. I think they probably all have been paid for by Amazon, except for maybe this one, the original Echo Dot, the one this guy's standing on. The original Echo Dot, I might have paid for that one myself, but almost everything else. Karthik will work for any company that reimburses Funkos. I haven't found that company yet, but man, I feel like I would love to work for Funko, man. There's so much opportunity there for technology that I think they're missing out on. And I'm sure it's just a lack of resources, but man, an API that I could track and like, you can't even see someone's collection on the web. You can only look at your own collection in their app, and it isn't shareable at all. I think you could really do a lot of interesting things with making that. Principal Evangelist for Funko sounds awesome. It would still require trips to Seattle. Probably more trips. But yeah, it is what it is. So anyway, thank you guys for the conversation this morning. That was super fun and cool. All right, so yesterday we worked on the poker achievements, and you can see that I have a bunch of achievements here based on how many games you've played or how many pairs you've had or maybe even how many royal flushes you've had. And all of those achievements are boiled into my browser, into my database. So if we look at the achievement table, you can see that I've added all these. I did this while I watched the debate last night, which again, I try not to be political here, but I watched the debate. Whoa. And so I have all of these different achievements built in, and you can see that, like for your first royal flush, you'll, in addition to winning whatever you win for the royal flush, you'll also get 10 extra credits, or for your fifth one, your 10th one, you'll get 100 extra credits. So it's a cool way to give people. Good morning, Rick. Welcome. This is the achievements engine, and I think I'm gonna probably stick pretty consistent to the 1, 5, 10, 25, 50, 100 of whatever the thing is, whatever the behavior or outcome is, and then I'm multiplying whatever that outcome was by 10. So it's 10, 50, 100, 250, 500, 1,000. Which if you've hit your 100th royal flush, whoa, you have like 1,000 is not going to seem like a whole lot of money. Good morning, Corey Haynes. Karthik, I know. I wish that I could somehow benefit by the clicking. I need to figure out how to do that. But you can find me as @JeffBlankenberg on all of those social media platforms. So if you want to find me, at least you know where I am. I wish I could make them clickable. We'll have to I need to just spend like a full week just working on the system, working on the layout of this stream. I was happy to be able to at least lay this out, get the leaderboard on there. It was cool to have like this. I've got this animation kind of going on around my video. It's actually just a shrunk down version of this. If you guys have seen this loading screen, all I did was take that, put it in the corner, and so it's rotating behind my my video, but I thought that looked pretty cool. And then obviously we've got all the lights and stuff in the background. But yeah, that bottom piece really needs something more, and I think eventually it'll be a ticker or something. I'm not sure exactly how this is going to work, but yeah, that's something that needs to be tweaked up. And if I can find a way to make clickable things happen on the video, then I will do that. Corey wants me to put pictures of his cats. I could do that. I have 2 cats of my own. Maybe I could put pictures of my cats there. But I also feel like that would be a good place to do like alerts, like when someone follows. Right now it happens in the middle of the screen, but it might be cool to bring that stuff down there and have like animations. I just need to spend more time learning how to do that. Another thing I'd really like to do, remember this screen, right at the top it says starts at 9 a.m. What I'd really like it to do is say starts in 5 minutes and then counts down, because I usually start the stream and I wait about 5 minutes and then I actually come on camera. It gives you all a chance to get here. So that's all stuff that I feel like I'd like to do eventually, but I just haven't gotten around to it. And then for those of you that have been here a long time, which I don't know if many of you have, I also used to have an entire set of commands for interactivity with the stream. So one example is this lamp that's behind me that's green right now, or blue, it's green. I used to have a way for you to be able to change that live on stream with just a command, or you could talk to a skill and do it. But both of those things have kind of languished, and I haven't kept up with them, and they're not even running right now, so that doesn't work. But I think I'd like to be able to do that. I also think that there's things we could make happen on the screen. I know that Gold Zulu does a good job of this, where he has little characters falling around and walking around for people. But I think that maybe there's like a casino ticker or some kind of thing. Maybe that's an alert box that pops up when like somebody hits a big win on the casino. I don't know exactly. I've got some work to do to figure out how to build all of that, because like the leaderboard is a browser source. That means that I actually built a web page that's talking directly to my database, and I'm hosting that web page here as part of an input. The problem with this, yeah, I'm using the Streamlabs alert for that kind of stuff, but the Streamlabs stuff is a little more janky, or a little more complicated than I think I need. So I'll get into it eventually, but I just haven't spent the time to even really look at it today. Okay, so anyway, so we have these achievements, and I have them all laid out for poker. So I think I have all the ones that I'm going to use for poker now, which is all the different outcomes, and then at the very beginning here, I have the number of games you've played. Now this one seems like I might need to boost the number eventually, but I'll wait until I start seeing some people get this achievement at 100 before I worry about adding more, because it's pretty easy to add them now that we've got a system for this. But slots is a little more complicated, and this is something that I ran into last night as I was working on this. So let's look at wager, and I want to show you the challenge that I'm running into. So you can see that this is all that I record about what the user's outcome was for a game of slots. Now, generally this is fine. This will let me go through. I know it's emojis, but it lets me pretty easily visually see exactly what the result of the user's spin was. But the thing that I'm not doing, and I think I just need some more data in here, is I don't think that I'm saving in the outcome column what their actual outcome was. So that's something that I really want to focus on today. So let's go play a couple hands not hands, but let's go play a couple rounds of slots just to get us some data. What I want is a winning outcome, basically. So let's save this, and then hopefully this will just work. So if I say bet 5 on slots, hopefully we just get a nice response. Or not. It's not finding it. This is what happens when we start cold. Okay, let's see if we can try that again. Okay, let's try Gold Zulu, good morning. Kevin Evans, good morning. Good to have everybody here this morning. Gold Zulu, you've been mentioned a couple times already this morning, but you missed it, so it's all right. Let's do a reopen of this, and just restart our local debugging.
The requested skill took too
service.
long to respond.
I know it did. We're going to fix that. Okay. So hopefully that'll get us right up and running. Cool. So let's go to our browser and now try that. There we go.
Welcome to the Chatsino. You currently have 3,047 coins available.
Yeah, I do.
You have played poker 83% of the time. You should give slots or roulette a try today.
Okay, let's give slots a
What would
try.
you like to do?
Ooh, I won.
Booyah! You got cherries, bell, grapes.
Okay.
You won 15 coins. What do you want to play next?
Ooh, I don't like that. Let's fix that first. That's something I will forget. So if we come in here to start slots, you won this many coins. I always put a space at the end of all of my speech. I'm really surprised that I didn't do that. Okay. That part is fixed. I just want to make sure I fixed that little dot. You won 15 coins dot because I didn't put a space in between these. So now let's go look at our database and see if I'm saving the outcome. And I am. Awesome. Okay. So this is a losing hand. So I don't really care about this. I'm never going to talk about this. And I already have a roll-up function here somewhere that is slots game. So I can see how many times I've played slots. So that's useful. I already have the achievement built for that. But the thing that I was really getting hung up on is how was I going to know when they had a one cherry outcome where the first item is one cherry? Let me show you why this was an issue. I was looking at this and thinking, man, how do I check if they had one cherry? Well, I guess I want to check the first value, and I want to see if this one was a cherry. The problem that I ran into is I was looking at how do I look this stuff up. I built this column last night, and I say where game type is slots, and then I add a condition, and I say where result, and I was hoping for like a starts with or an ends with or something, but result, these are the choices that I get here in Airtable. Contains, well, I can't just check for one cherry because it could be 1 or 2 or 3 or whatever, or it could be in any position. That's no good for me. I can't say does not contain. I can't say is, because if I say is, then I'd have to build a case for every possible outcome where the first thing is a cherry and then the next two are something else, and I'd have to build out every permutation of all the other symbols. So that sounds no good. And then I don't want is empty or is not empty, and those are my only choices for a filter. So I was really struggling with this last night. How am I going to know? But I didn't realize, and I'm thankful that I didn't realize, that in fact I do save the outcome when they win. And that's the stuff that I really want. So I'm smarter than myself, which is good. So I just need to check and see, does one cherry exist in here? And if it does, then we know that this worked. So if we come into this and we say add condition where outcome contains, and I'm going to put the quotes around it too, so it should look just like that. And if I hit save, you can see that I now have one of those. And if we look at all of my wagers, you can see that there's only one that says one cherry. So we're doing a good job in recognizing that. So now what I want to do is I want to come into user and I need to build out the other outcomes. So to do that, let's go look at our slots position. These are our outcomes. We have 1 cherry, 2 cherries, 3 cherries, 2 oranges and a diamond, 3 oranges. These are the outcomes I'm looking for. And what I'm going to save into the database is this. Now I could take these symbols and look at those, but I think that these names are descriptive enough that I'll know what I'm talking about. It is fun to work with emojis in a lot of this stuff, but I don't want to overdo it. So I'll stick with looking for the name. So the next one is 2 cherries. Okay, so let's add another column. Slots, 2 cherries, count. And this is going to be I think we call it a count field. And we want to choose things from wager. And we only want specific ones. So we want where game type is is it lowercase? I don't know if it's lowercase or uppercase. Slots. Let's see if we look at wager. What is game type? It is capitalized. Okay. So 2 cherries. Game type is slots with a capital S. And then our second condition is where outcome contains 2 cherries. All right, take care, Karthik. Thanks for swinging by. I made a clip of your beginning. I'm going to use it for example of using persisted data for work. Tell me more about this, W. Giorgio. Are you talking about my video or Karthik's? Also, Zavadop, welcome. Good morning. Hello. All right, so that's 2 cherries. The next outcome we have, and it's nice that I don't have to add data to any of these fields. They're just automatically calculated. I just noticed also that these are single quotes. But when they're in my database, I feel like they're double quotes, aren't they? They are. That must be what happens when I JSON parse and JSON stringify this stuff. Okay, well, it's in the database with quotes, so that's what matters. Let's go calculate some more fields. So the next one is slots 3 cherries count. And this again is a count field. Come on, where'd it go? Count. Oh, I see, awesome. So that's good. And then we need to look in the wager table. We need only where game type is slots and outcome, wherever that is, outcome contains 3 cherries. Okay, save. Now when we do these things, what's cool about this is these are calculated fields. Karthik, you're right, and that clip does still exist somewhere. The first time I got an APL video to play, that was quite an experience. I try to be that excited, but we fought with that for an hour before it finally worked, and I was so excited when it finally did. Let's see. The next one is 2 oranges. I'm just going to copy this. 2 oranges and a diamond. Diamond kind of plays like a wild in this, so we need slots. Oh, you know what would actually be really cool? Maybe no, I don't want to do that. 2 oranges, diamond, count. This is a count field somewhere. It's always further down than I think it's going to be. Then we do wager, where game type is slots and outcome is save. Okay. 2 oranges diamond is what that one's called. I don't know if I'm going to pay the price later for having all of these columns, but they feel good for now. Okay, so slots, what's the next one called? 3 oranges. I wonder if I need... to do each of them individually. Like, is 3 oranges different enough from 2 oranges and a diamond? I guess it is. It's fun to have all the achievements. That's fine. We'll do it. Slots, 3 oranges. Count. Wager. Game type is... And this is going to be slots. I don't know, I have to think through that every time. And outcome is 3 oranges. Okay, I'm getting bored writing these, so I think that's a good start for now. So let's go look at our achievement.js. So this is the achievements engine. The reason that I built it this way is that so at the end of each game, I just call this achievement function, and then it goes through and figures out and parses all of the achievements that you might have unlocked right now, returns them as an array, and then on the bot side, right, whether we're on Alexa or Twitch or Discord or whatever, I just get an array of achievements that you finished, and then I can just loop through those and say, hey, you won this, and hey, you won this. And if I got nothing, then I do nothing. But I don't have to put any thinking logic into what's going on in the bot. All of this stuff lives inside the casino itself. And so for this one, this needs to be slots 1 cherry count. And we'll do that twice. And that's it, right? No. No, I did that wrong. No, I did that right, but I need this to be... What do I call... maybe I haven't created these achievements yet. I have not. So let's think about those too, because if they don't exist here, they don't work. They don't cause an error, it just will not give you the achievement because it doesn't exist. So let's call this slots 1 cherry 1. And you just got your first spin with 1 cherry. All right, so let's copy that. Just add these in. That's 10. This is actually 5. This is 25. This is 50. No, not 150, just 50. And this is 100. Okay. So we can just take these, since we're being so consistent, and fifth, 10th, 25th, 50th. These are words you never write. 50th? That's not a word I write ever. And 100th is also a weird word. H-U-N-D, 100th. With they basically just took the word 100 and slapped TH on the end. Okay, so that's going to be our pattern for that. So I already have up here, I added them earlier, but it's slots game. So I have the slots ones here. I hate that they're not really in the right order, but not the end of the world. Okay, so I have my poker outcomes, or my poker achievements. I have the first of my slots ones. So let's actually see if this works. So what I'm going to do is come into my data for wager. Let's just blow everything away. And let's play some slots until we get 1 cherry. That should be pretty easy to do. Video poker. Wait, get rid of everything. Delete. I don't think I have anything else in here. Wager user. So now if I come out here and look, these are all zeroed out. Yeah. Okay. So let's try it. Let's play some slots.
Booyah! You got cherries.
I got 2 cherries.
Cherries. Bell. You won 25 coins. What do you want to play next?
Now the reason I didn't get paid for that is because I didn't write those achievements in. So let's go add those, because this will then automatically unlock that achievement. Assuming I don't get 2 cherries again. If I get 2 cherries on my next turn, that will screw everything up. But if we come into achievement, let's just add the 2 cherries ones. So we could take something like this, copy, and do this. Yes, expand the table. And then we just need to change these to 2 cherries. I probably don't call it 2 cherry though, do I? If I look at even my table here, I probably call it 2 cherries. Should be consistent. 2 cherries, yeah. Okay. Achievement. So the way the achievement engine works is it just looks at all of your data. I guess we could do these two. It looks at all of your data and then gives you achievements based on the outcomes. And so if I add an achievement, as long as your data still meets that achievement when I add it, you'll get it automatically. So it's possible that I could add new achievements later that people get. The trick will be, what if somebody's already surpassed that? So if I say, if I were just to add these now, and if I get 2 cherries on this next spin, I will not get this first achievement, which is 2 cherries 1, because it's only going to award that, and it checks after every spin to see if I have 1 2 cherries outcome. If I do have 1, it'll give me that achievement, but if I have 2, it will not, because I've already surpassed it. I'm not doing a greater than 1. All of my logic for all of these is, does your count, so like 1 cherry count here, does your count equal 1, 5, 10, 25, 50, or 100? If it doesn't match one of those numbers, you don't get the achievement. And so if I add an achievement for 1 outcome of something and you've already had 2 of them, you'll never ever get that achievement, which is fine. I'm okay with that, but it's something to keep in mind as we build more of these, is that we should really be thorough about this early so that people don't miss out on achievements because they were an early adopter. Slots 2 cherries account. And then this needs to be 1 cherry. And this needs to be 2 cherry. 2 cherries. Okay. That should work. All right, so let's see what happens on our next outcome. It should be that no matter whether I win or lose, I should get that 2 cherries outcome. But we may also get something for whatever happens on this spin. Let's see.
There was a problem with the requested skills response.
Or I could have totally broken something. So, what do you mean there was a problem with the requested skills response? I didn't get a... What are you talking about?
There was a problem with the requested skills response.
It looks like it's running to me. TeamView, if you hate them, you could get one of these. Amazon.com. This is a t-shirt that you can purchase and own in a number of colors. I think I need to get one of these. But one of our Alexa champions, his name is, on here it's Bondad, but he has this incredibly creative mind, and he made this t-shirt and sells it here on Amazon. So there you go. Why don't you pick up one of these t-shirts? He would really appreciate it. John Gilliland is his name. There you go. Comes in a bunch of colors. I probably should get one of these at some point. Okay. I don't understand why. I don't understand why my skill is not responding. start up our engine again. This isn't something I normally need to do very often, but yeah, something's broken. Okay, my service is running. Open. There we go.
Welcome to the Chatsino. You currently have 3,095 coins available.
Bet 5 on slots.
There was a problem with the requested skills response.
5 audio elements. Interesting. So let's look at our audio elements and see what we've got here. Well, actually, we could just look at what we sent in. Let's take a look at what we sent in. So come up here to orange, no, to blue. So I see, oh, because of the slot machine, I have the note E, the note A, the note G, and then a winning sound. Oh, this is fixable. Okay. I see. I've been very conscious. This is something that, if you guys didn't know, this is something that you can get caught on pretty easily. You can't put more than 5 sound effects into one response, or it fails like that. And that's the issue that we're having. So what I need to do is look at what I did for Start Poker, which is just down... No? No, not Start Poker. Poker Draw. Poker Deal. In here, what I did is I just took this... And if we look at start slots, let's take this out. And I think just down at the bottom, we can add this like this. Now, what I don't know is result.achievements. Is that actually what I'm passing back? I want to make sure that I'm getting this right. So if I look at slots and I look at play, am I returning it as achievement? Achievements, perfect. I'm passing it back as the array. No, W. Giorgio, not with APLA. I just haven't done that yet. I haven't gotten into APLA, and that's something I'm waiting until I'm forced to have to do something different. But for now, I'm just living in the normal world of sound effects. So when I look at start slots now, let's see what we've got. You've got coins. Coins. Is there a place where I add, what do you want to play next? Yeah, I'll have to put this on the end. Because these stand alone, so I can't add it to everything. So in here, if there's more length than that, then we can do this. What do you want to play next? Okay, that should work. So let's see if that doesn't fix it. Basically, the way I've rewritten this for poker is I only play the sound effect once. If you get any achievement, I only play it once, and then I just say, you did this, and you did this, and you did this. It doesn't matter how many achievements you had. But the way I originally wrote it, I played the sound effect for each... I played the sound effect for each achievement. And so if you got 2 or 3 or 4 achievements, play the sound effect 4 times, and especially if you got 5 all at once, which would be really hard to do, we'd be exceeding a whole bunch of limits. So let's see if that doesn't fix our problem. It was just that I was playing sound effects too much. But now I need to reset all my achievements.
You were dealt Queen of Spades, Queen of Hearts, 9 of Diamonds, 8 of Spades, and 6 of Diamonds. Which cards do you want to hold?
Delete all those records. Delete all these records. Delete this record. I don't want that ever. Delete that. Let's go to game. Let's delete these. I need a purge all function. Okay, everything's clean. So now we should be able to say bet 5 on slots. And if we win, we should get an achievement.
Arg. You got grapes, lemon. Aw, man! Darn. You. Oh! You got.
This is so soothing, those piano noises. Or bells.
Bummer. Bummer. Oh dear. Darn.
Now I'm not winning at all.
Oh boy. Blar.
Nice.
Huzzah! You got cherries, bell, orange. You won 15 coins. You got an achievement. You just got your first spin with 1 cherry. You get 10 bonus coins. What do you want to play next?
Awesome. So those achievements are working. Yeah, there's always a lot of losing, but I will tell you that the slot machine and the poker machine have been pretty good to some of our casino patrons, especially Mr. Smoofy. I think that it's harder to win a lot fast in roulette and craps, but I think those are more fun, interactive games. But now that video poker is at least turn-based, I feel like that's a little better too. One of the things that I will do eventually, and it shouldn't be very hard to add, is to add multiple slot machines. The challenge I have with that right now is that I don't know how I offer different machines or how I let the user choose. Instead of saying play video poker, now they have to say something like, I don't know, play the Simpsons slot machine or whatever. Like if you wanted to have a bunch of themed different slot machines. But they'd all have to pretty much have the same kind of betting scheme and stuff. So it's not clear to me exactly how I'm going to do multiple slot machines or even multiple video poker outcomes, although I think that's easier because you can say play deuces wild or play jacks or better or whatever. Video poker seems more natural to me to try to play with. But with slots, I'm not sure, especially like if I want to go to 5 reels instead of 3 reels, how does that work? And how do I do the sound effects since I'm limited to 5 sound effects? That kind of stuff. We'll have to figure that out. Maybe that's where APLA comes in. But that's post-launch. I offer a slot machine for now, and we'll worry about multiple slot machines or multiple video poker machines later. So we can see now that first we should see that slots 1 cherry count is 1. We should be able to see that in user achievement how do I have 3 achievements? What are the 3 achievements that got tagged? Your first game of slots, your 5th game of slots, cool, this is all working. And your first spin with 1 cherry. That's awesome. So we hit all 3 of those achievements, although I don't feel like I heard them because they were losing outcomes. But it shouldn't matter if they were losing outcomes. Let's try this. Let's make sure that when we get these outcomes, and we'll just go to wager here and clear this table out. If we lose our first one, we should still get an achievement for, hey, that was your first game of slots. I don't remember hearing that, but maybe I just skipped over it. I think I probably did just skip over it. This should work even if you win or lose, though. So now my slots game count, which is over here, is 0. So if I play a game of slots, even if I lose, hopefully I lose. Nope, I won.
Bingo! You got cherries, bell, orange. You won 15 coins. You got an achievement. You just played your first game of slots. You get 10 bonus coins.
Oh, I see.
What do you want to play next?
Because I already had that achievement marked. I was like, why didn't I get the first cherry one? But I didn't delete that achievement. I already had that in there. So we should have 2 achievements if I'm correct here. If I look at user achievement. And I do. I have these 2. These were deleted. So, okay, let's try that one more time. Wagers. And games. And bet 5 on slots. I really want to lose. Come on, let me lose. Yeah.
Yikes! You got grapes, bell, cherries. That is not a winning spin. You lost 5 coins. You got an achievement. You just played your first game of slots. You get 10 bonus coins. What do you want to play next?
I feel like this achievement thing probably needs to tell you what your new balance is too, especially because losing, I don't even really tell you what your balance is at all. We need to fix that. So where's the yikes, the darn? Your new balance is, and I should have this, it should be user.fields.available balance coins. And we always want to wrap this in the cardinal. Anytime we talk about a number. We should do it for winning too. Your new balance is 1,324. Okay, and I mean, if I just told you your balance and then I give you 10 more coins, I think it's okay that I don't tell you your balance again. You can always check your balance. Okay, one more delete fest. Let's just see how that sounds. Okay.
Jeff, there was an error. What should we do now?
There's an error. Why? What could I didn't change anything. User is not defined? Oh, it's result.user. Duh. Okay. Okay, I can live with that error. Give me something.
Whee! You got cherries, bell, orange. You won 15 coins. Your new balance is 3,224. You got an achievement. You just got your first spin with 1 cherry. You get 10 bonus coins. What do you want to play next?
What is my balance? It should be 3,235 if I had to guess.
You currently have 3,235
Awesome.
coins available. What do you want to play next?
Okay. Feeling pretty good about this. So there's the slog of creating the rest of the columns and achievements. I don't know if I want to do all of that right now. That's something I can do when I'm like sitting on the couch later. I think you guys get the idea of how the achievements work. So I don't want to mark achievements off yet because I really, poker done. Slots started. So we can at least keep track of our status on that. There's something else that I'm not tracking right now, and I need to figure out how I want to do this. How do I want to do this? The thing I'm thinking about is a daily reward. These aren't necessarily achievements because every time you don't make it a day, the clock starts over. But I need a way to recognize whether or not you've had an event happen on this day. This is going to be new for me. I haven't done this, especially with Airtable. We're going to be writing some interesting queries. But I think, let's think about where we could do this. And how I would even tell them. Corey Haynes is climbing the leaderboard, everybody. Have you noticed he's in 4th place now? He's pushing me down. How am I going to do this? I don't necessarily want to do this every time you do anything. That seems like a lot of overkill to check and see if you've been here today already. But one of the things that I can do, let me show you how this works. If you guys haven't, this is something a lot of people don't notice in this manifest here. But do you see how I have session and then I have new equals false? This false means that I've already talked to them in this session. But even that isn't really a great indicator, because what if you cross the day timeline while you're playing? My goal in this setting the 7-day payout is to encourage you to come back every day and get more coins. But session new would be a really useful thing to know. Let me show you how this works, just to explain. So if I say quit, that quits the skill. And then when you say open Chatsino, you can see that now...
Welcome to the Chatsino. You currently have 3,200...
Stop. Session new equals true. So this means that you started a new thing with us. And I don't think I'm that worried about... yeah, I'm with you, Goldzula. I think that's where it's going to be, but that would mean if I do it on the request interceptor, then I'm checking every time. And what I want to do is not call the database except when I think it might be a new opportunity, which is when you start a new session. So, the way that I think I'm going to do this is I'm going to use this session new true, and if that is true, which is rare, it's only when you start a session that I will have that be true. If it's true, then I will call the database and check. Or maybe, no, I don't want to store a record for every time you have a new session. Or do I? Maybe I do. Yeah, let's just do that. That might be some interesting data to hold on to also, because I can see how often users are coming back. Are they using it multiple times a day? That's not something I would easily know otherwise. So let's create a new table called sessions. Create empty table. User sessions. And this will be a unique identifier, so we'll just call this record ID. And we'll call this formula for record ID so that it shows it for me. Okay, that one's easy. Now, we need user. And this is linking to my user record. I don't want to link to multiple records. Save. So that lets me assign my user to the session. And then that's really it. Is there anything else that I need to know? I don't think so. So I could take these two columns, delete field. Oh, it lets me do one at a time, okay. What I'll need is, this is something I don't have to enter, but I could call it created date. And we'll do they actually have a created time field. We'll make this read friendlier, and we'll set it to GMT for everyone, including time. So I think I'm going to do it slightly different, Gold Zulu. I mean, this is probably similar to what you're doing so far, but what I'm going to do is, if it's a new session, then I will log it. But then I also want to check beforehand and see if you have an entry from today already. I don't think I'm going to factor time zone. I think I'm just going to... There just is a 24-hour rolling clock. And so let's say for you, for your time zone, it's offset. And so, I mean, you're actually GMT, so it'll work fine for you. But for me, I'm 4 hours behind you. So that my day actually would run 8 p.m. to 8 p.m. In the grand scheme of things, it shouldn't matter. There's always going to be a reset, and I don't want to make the reset unique per person. That's a lot of extra work. And if they want to discover what their reset is, that's okay too. But I feel like incorporating time zone into this, I think, only makes things a lot more complicated, and there's more opportunity to get things wrong. Where if I just have one standing thing, which is I'm recording all of my times in GMT, and if they have an entry from the previous GMT day, then I like that. You should share that code, man. That'd be pretty cool. But I think I'm going to skip out on that for now, because I don't think it's going to matter. People tend to do things at the same time every day, at least these kinds of things. They have a time of their day when they can sit and yell at their device and play in a casino. So I feel like I don't think it's going to matter much. There's a game I used to play a ton on my phone called Plants vs. Zombies Heroes. It's kind of like Hearthstone. I liked it a little more than Hearthstone, actually. And they had a daily reset that was universal, right? Didn't matter where you were in the world. But my reset, depending on daylight savings and all sorts of other stuff, was either 2 p.m. or 1 p.m. And that was fine. I had no problem with the fact that it just reset in the middle of the day. And so I had to make sure that I played the daily game between 1 p.m. yesterday and 1 p.m. today, rather than like midnight to midnight. I think it's okay. I get where you're coming from, and I think that that's also a very interesting use case, but I feel like there's a lot of opportunity for me to get it wrong. So I'm just gonna do it by treating everything as GMT, and we'll see if that causes a problem. So I have this users. I don't need user sessions. Let's call it user session. And this is where I'm going to put each user session. But I really want to do that. I need to also query it. And I'm also going to need to be able to tell how many days in a row they've done this. So that's also going to be an interesting query. I wish that Airtable had a query builder so that I could just sit there and like basically filter things down and then be like, oh, cool, there we go. Okay, so I at least have the table. That's the thing that I needed to start with. will Chatsino work on Google Assistant too? I think it will eventually. I've only built some very minor Google Actions. I haven't done anything very robust. And so that might be a good exploratory project for me, maybe over the holidays or something, is to figure out how to make it work on Google Assistant also. So I have no reason not to try it on Google Assistant. I think that would be kind of cool. But obviously I'm starting with Alexa because that's the one I care about the most. Okay. So now we need to actually let's fix the user session. We can do this in a clever way. Right now, if I look at my index file, this is my raw, like, handlers, all the stuff for Alexa. One of the things that I do in my... Where'd it go? In the request interceptor is I make a call into Chatsino where I say get user by user ID. And I pass in... Oh, I only pass in their user ID, though. Shoot. I could fix that, maybe. No, I'll just do this the right way because I use get user by user ID a bunch of places. So I can just say if handler input dot request envelope dot, where did my dot session, is that right? Yeah, dot session dot new equals true. Then we're going to make another call into the Chatsino. Chatsino.data.getUser by user ID. No, that's not actually what I want though. Data save session. What am I really saving? I'm just saving the user. So we could pass in this. See, this is what kills me about this. Let's see where we're using get user by user ID. Data.get user by user ID. Oh, it's not used very many places. Well, that's actually, this is the only place it's used. That's not at all what I expected. Are you sure about that? I mean, that's what it says. Okay. So that means that I could, let's go open that file. Data get user by user ID. And in here, we're just saying user ID. So instead here we could say, no, see, this is going to get complicated. I should probably make it a second call. I don't want to do it in here. Okay. It doesn't really matter. I'm making a second call no matter what. But save session, we can just pass in the user ID also. Because that's all we really need. Okay, if session is new, then we're going to save that. So now we need to create that file, and that'll be in here in data. Data save something, save spin. Yeah, this is exactly what I want. So let's do a save as on this, and we're going to call this save session. So first steps. This is useful data to save. I'm glad I'm doing this, but it definitely is a little bit of work. So this is going to be save session. export at the bottom to save session. Okay, so in here, I'm just saving the session. So this is going to be user session, and we're going to create this. This is going to be user. This needs to be user. And then this needs to be user. Do this right, Jeff. I'm only passing in the user ID, so let's call this user ID. And then this becomes user ID. I don't need either of these. But I think before I save this thing in, I also need to check. I need to write a query that's going to well, that's save session. This is its own independent thing. It's doing exactly what it needs to do. Maybe I just make this more complex here. So okay, so that's my saved session. But before I do that, what I really want to do, oh, my tabs are so off. Okay, so what I really want to do here is const how do I know? What I really want to say is const streak, and then await chatcino.data.get current user streak. Where this is basically just going to return me a number. And what do I even do with that? Because this doesn't actually give me what I want. What am I doing? All right. This is going to end up being some kind of external function, I think, but it's fine for now. So I have this streak. I need to create get current user streak, which is another function in here. Get user streak. I don't need the current part. Get user streak. We use this as our basis. Save as. Get user streak. I wish this stuff wasn't all so hard. I feel like it doesn't need to be this hard all the time. All right, this is now get user streak. I'm passing in user ID. And we're going to go fetch const records equals that. this is going to look at user session. What am I really pulling back here? So this will sort by created date, which is the name of my column, created date. So we'll sort them in the right order. I should be able to do something like max records or something like that. But the other thing that I need here, I don't think I need status active. I just need that, and then let's go. I don't remember how to do this. Airtable, CodePen, this thing. It's easy, I just don't remember. So if I say like max records 7 or 10, it's just max records like this. So I can slap that on the end. But there's more. There's 10 isn't enough. There's the possibility that 20 or 30 isn't enough. It depends on how many unique sessions you've had. But what I care about is how many unique days you've had. Not the number of session records itself, but how many unique days have you been here starting a new session? So if we go to the Airtable formula field reference, there we go. I think I can probably do this. It's just going to take some work to think about how I'm going to do this. Array join, concatenate, none of these find. What I want is like unique. Yeah, there's date operators in here somewhere. Thank you, TeamView. I'll do a nice long chug for you with 4 of those. Cheers. How am I going to do this? Weekday, today. Okay, I think I can use this. So let's take that into our formula. So we have this thing here that we're user ID, but we're also going to say is after. And date 1 is going to be the created date field. And date 2 yeah, this is just returns the day of the month of a date time. What I'm trying to do, Corey, is identify how long you've had a streak. So I need to know how many unique days you've had previous to now. So what I'm going to first do is say I only want you to grab me records that are within the last 7 days, or previous to the last 7 days. So I'll probably do today minus 8. But the problem is that I'm going to enter a record into this table every time that you have a new session. So if you play the casino for a little while, that counts as one session. And then if you walk away and you come back a couple hours later and play for a little while, that's one session. So there'll be a record for each time you come in and like start a new session. So I don't know how many total records there could be. If I have somebody that's really addicted to the game, they could play a lot. Maybe that's how they take their break between getting work done or whatever. So I have an infinite number of records that I could have, but what I want to do is pull back only records that happened in the last 7 days, and then I can use some JavaScript to parse through those and identify, well, did they have one yesterday? Did they have one the day before? Did they have one, like I can just unique on that in JavaScript? Because I don't know if I'm going to get that much power here in my formula fields stuff. But if we look at this, created date is the field that I want to look at, and this is going to be, if you do every day, you'll get a streak every day. Well, yes, the way it'll work is I'm going to check and say 1 day streak, 2 day streak, 3 day streak, 4 day streak, 5 day streak, 6 day streak. And if you miss a day, then I will be returning to myself. Your current streak is 1 because today is your first day of your streak. So you will always receive some streak amount that is 1 to 7. I don't need to reset it. I don't even want to keep track of how long your streak is. What I want to do is grab these records, evaluate what your current streak is, and reward you for that. But only do it once. So I'll also have to look at, like, is this your second time today? Because I would have awarded you the first time you do it on that day. But I think I can do this without ever storing how long their streak is. I think I can do that. It's just calculated every time. So this is gonna be today, like this, but I also need their date add. Or I don't think they have a date subtract. I think it's just date add. You give it a negative number. So this for today is going to be something like, well, let's get rid of today for now. So this becomes like this. This is going to be days. Then this is going to be the number 8. And this is going to be today, which is basically right now. So anything after that should technically be 7 days or fewer ago. Now I don't have any records in the table now, so I probably need to add a couple just so that we can make sure this works. So let's put a couple in there. We'll just add me as the user. Let's set these back a couple days. Oh, I can't change it because it's actually the created date. Okay, well, that's all right. Okay, so I'm going to go off screen for just a second because I'm going to turn this on, and this shows my full path with all my API keys and everything. So all I'm going to do is just check this URL to see that it's returning records properly and that it's well formed. So we're going to go to this for just a moment, and we're going to, I guess we just start the skill and it'll call in here automatically, right? So let's see if that even works. Probably get an error. No.
Orange. That is not a winning spin.
That's a good sign.
You lost 5 coins.
That's a really good sign.
Your new balance is 3,233 coins.
So what I'm doing is I'm digging in here to get that fully formed URL, hopefully. I don't see that in my results here. Why? Because I'm probably not calling get user streak. Oh, because my session wasn't new. That's why. Okay, this is only going to happen when I have a new session. So I got to say quit. And this is probably where we'll get an error. Open Chatsino. Wah, wah.
Jeff,
Yeah.
there was an error. What should we do now?
I like that I can predict errors. That's good. Chatsino.data.getUserStreak is not a function. I think you're lying, but we'll check. No, you're right. I didn't add that. Get user streak. Get user const get user streak. Require get user streak. Okay, so that's good. Get user streak is now added. Let's try that again. Quit. Open the casino.
Jeff, there was an error. What should we do now?
These are simple plumbing errors, I think. User is not defined in get user streak. Okay. It's because it's user ID. Fixed. Okay, we're really close. Really close now. Quit one more time, just so I can see my URL, please. Open Chatsino. Come on.
The requested skill took too long to respond.
What are you talking about? Endpoint timeout. Interesting. I know you can't see my screen. I'm trying to get a URL to appear, and I don't want to show that URL. Return, let's do, I think it's that I'm not returning a value out of this function. So we'll just do that temporarily. Try one more time. I'll be back on my screen in a second. I just need to get this URL to pump out. Make sure we're actually getting the values that we want.
The requested skill took too long to respond.
Okay, why is that? I gotta get rid of this too. Let's find that. All right, we're getting there. We're getting there. What? Am I saving sessions? Are we hitting that part of the? No, we're not. We're not even saving it. So it's something broken with the streak, get user streak. But I don't even feel like we're getting there. Int Jose Luluped. I didn't say any of that correct, but welcome. Yo, good morning to you. Let's just do a little console log here. I can bring you guys back for a little bit. Console log. And we'll just say, good morning, good morning. We'll just say something like New session. Okay, back to the camera because we don't want to put this on screen. So come back here, say quit. And then say open. Invalid record ID. That's interesting.
The requested skill took too long to respond.
Interesting. So I was missing a total error, which is invalid record ID. That makes sense. Okay, let's see if that fixes it. It was that I was passing in my Alexa user ID, not my Airtable record ID. So let's do quit one more time. I think this will be fixed now. I think.
Jeff, there was an error. What should we do now?
That's better than failing hard. Cannot read property record ID of undefined. Okay, we're almost there. Quit, quit, quit.
Jeff, there was an error. What should we do now?
This is dumb. If I look at my session attributes, oh, okay, I see why. Doing this in the wrong order. Let's just do it down here. I know you guys can't see this, sorry. TeamView, you live in Bowling Green, Kentucky? That's pretty awesome. Check this out. It doesn't say Bowling Green on it, though. I have this shirt on, which actually stands for Bowling Green State University. That's where I went to college. But that is not, in fact, in Bowling Green, Kentucky. It's in Bowling Green, Ohio. But it's often confused for it. All right, I think we're in the right order now. Our code is doing what it needs to do. I'm still trying to see this link, so that's why I'm not showing you anything. TeamView, you said you just moved. Where did you move from? Yes.
Welcome to the Chatsino.
Okay.
You currently have 3,249 coins available. You have played slots 100% of the time. You should give poker or roulette a try today. What would you like to do?
So, Intose, you will be able to do all of this on Alexa as soon as I publish this skill. I just haven't done it yet. We're still actively working towards getting this thing. We're actively working towards getting this thing ready to be published. There's still a lot of work to go into this casino, and then user ID. Okay, we can fix that. Get user streak. You're saying that you don't want me to call it user ID. You want me to call it user because that's what I called it. Cool. Let's do a little quit and restart action. Quit. Is what a new? I don't have any new echoes yet. So I'm curious which one you're talking about. You're talking about this little round guy that's hiding back here with the light. That is not the new Echo. That's called the Echo Glow, which is not actually an Echo device that has Alexa built in. It's just it is only a light, and so. But the new Echoes will be, as soon as they're available, there will be one sitting on this table behind me, and we'll talk all about it. Okay, open the Chatsino. Still works.
Welcome to the Chatsino. You currently have 3,251 coins available. You have played slots 100% of the time. You should give poker or roulette a try today.
I know.
What would you like to do?
M2, good morning. Why do I have 0 records? I was trying to do is after determines if date 1 is earlier. No, I want is after. Determines if date 1 is later than date 2. M2 wants to know if I got an Xbox. I did actually get a pre-order for an Xbox Series X. So that also, I think it's November 10th that comes out. So we will talk about that too when it arrives. Determines if date 1 is later than date 2. Oh, I forgot to do a minus, I think. On my, yeah. Let's see if that doesn't fix it. I'm almost done working on this URL, everybody. So we will be back on screen in just a moment. Open the casino. Cool.
Welcome to the Chatsino. You currently have 3,253 coins available. You have played slots 100% of the time. You should give poker or roulette a try today. What would you like to do?
I ended up getting it on Amazon. Amazon just went live about 50 minutes later than the rest of the folks that were selling it. And I just happened to, I was about to give up because I was done on stream and I really needed to go. And I checked one more time and the page loaded fast and it was sitting right there and I was like, add to my cart. I actually had enough time to create a Amazon affiliate link and drop it on Twitter, and I helped 2 other people buy an Xbox. So I'll get a little kickback for that, I'm sure. All right, sweet. Okay, so now we're in a position where okay, so let's fix this. I can turn off the full path. It's now working. It did exactly what I wanted it to do. That's saved. Let's do a... That's good. Okay, back on screen. Oh yeah, sorry. In Jose, I have that sound effect stuff, but the bot that does it isn't running right now. So I need to get back to that. That's all going to be repaired when we re-add this Chatsino stuff. Like I'm going to take the casino that we're building for Alexa, and I'm going to rebuild it for Twitch here as well. And at that point, I'll get it back up and rolling. So my apologies for having you spend your points. All right, so I now have this get user streak where I'm getting the data that I need. So I need to say const records equals, and that's going to get me the data that I need. And then down here I should be able to say, that's totally not true, TeamView. You did them, and I told you I was going to chug a whole half this bottle, and I did. You redeemed your hydrates, don't worry. Okay. Oh, I can't pay that much attention. If I don't see them right away, I miss them. Okay, so console.log records. Let's just do that and see if we get our records to show up there. Go back here and do quit. Really should add that to my list. Quit. Open the casino. The other thing I'm not verifying is that we are adding a new record
Welcome
every
to
time.
the Chatsino.
Beautiful.
You currently have 3,255 coins available. You have played slots 100% of the time. You should give poker or roulette a try today. What would you like to do?
Did it write out all of my records for me? I didn't think I needed to do this, but let's try that because it's still waiting for that response.
Welcome to the Chatsino. You currently have 3,257 coins available. You have played slots 100% of the time. You should give poker or roulette a try today.
Okay.
What would you like to do?
So that does what I need. So now I have these records that are all of the timestamps. Now I wonder if I can do... Like if I look at this one, it's 1446, and if we look at our data, it is 1446, which makes sense. I'm trying to get all the records back that aren't right now. So I get that, I retrieve that list before I add this one. How do I want to handle this? How is it already 10:45? How did that happen? Where did all of our time go? I should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 records. And I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, that's wonderful. But what I don't know is now how to filter a JavaScript by unique dates. I love that everyone's already asked every question. What is my sort order that I'm using? I'm using... get rid of these max records too. So... this is my date array, which is basically kind of what I have. And what I want to do is say, they're comparing the getTime function of each of these. How do I want to do this? This seems like a very interesting solution. I like this better. This is a filter. I haven't used set before. Let's just learn about JavaScript set. I don't even know how these work. Okay, set is a unique set of values. That's already very cool. And I can do set.has. The problem I have is that all of my values are going to be unique because they have a date and a timestamp. I only care about the date part. What if I... No, I kind of want to know the timestamp. But the timestamp will exist no matter what. No. Let's see if this makes our lives easier. If in here we call this created date, and we change this to say no time field. Now it's just dates. And then I could also have a created time. And this will give me the time also. And because this is based on a record that I don't create or manage, it's always going to be there. It's not like I'm screwing anything up, but I will have created date and then I will have created time. So depending on which one I want, I can grab it. But I think for this purpose, I want created date. And I'm going to fudge this for a little bit. We're going to change this just to be a... Yeah, there's a date column right here. So we'll just change this to be friendly, save, and then I can modify these to back them up a couple. Like that one's the 28th, this one's the 29th, and then I have a bunch of them on the 30th. So what I should be able to do is say, you're on a 3-day streak, 4-day streak, 3-day streak, because this is already today. So let's see if this works. I have all these records, and I want to slam created date into a set. So I still have to dump them in one at a time. What happens if I try to add something? What happens if you try to add something to a set that is already there? I can see sets being really handy, but it says it only takes unique values. Oh, thanks, Mr. Smoofy. I think it's pretty cool, too. I want her to be excited for you, right? Like, awesome, congratulations, that's so cool. I'm also using speech cons to kind of mix it up, like mix up her excitement so it's not always the same. So that's adding an individual object. Can I add an array to it? That would be pretty sweet. Okay, I mean, I guess I can just iterate through these. That's kind of what I'm seeing here. So what we want to do is then say, let session set equal new set. And then for records.forEach, we'll just call these S. And then we'll just do a console log on the session set. Let's see what that does. Yeah, okay, let's give that a try. So back to our console, back to quitting, and now opening.
Jeff, there was an error. What should we do now?
Sure, I broke something. Okay, quit, quit, quit. Open.
Welcome to the Chatsino. You currently have 3,261 coins available. You have played slots 100% of the time. You should give poker or roulette a try today. What would you like to do?
Session set has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See, these are all date time. What if I do s.fields dot created date? What is that going to do? I just don't know what happens if I try to add a value to a set, which is only supposed to have unique values, and I try to add a value that's already there.
Welcome to
What
the
is that gonna look
Chatsino.
like?
You currently have 3,263 coins available. You have played slots 100% of the time. You should give
Shut
poker or roulette a try today. What would you like to do?
See, our timer. It went off. Our clock. Boom. We just ran out of time. It's right at our time. Alexa, stop. I'm not going to stop though because this is awesome. So, oh my gosh, this is so cool. Okay, so I have this new session set. I can get rid of this. Well, I'll get rid of this one for sure. So I have this new session set, and this set is going to contain the unique dates. You can see that I have 9:30, 9:29, 9:28. And they're sorted by most recent to least recent. So I wonder... We first need to compare it to today's date. And if the date on my server is different than the date on my database, boy, time zone math is the worst. All right, we're gonna have to stop because I got stuff to do. We need to determine what today. I'm recording everything in UTC. You're right. Because I know what UTC time is, I don't need to determine what the time on my server is at all. I just need to determine what UTC time is. So we can say const today equals, and how do I get current UTC time? How do I get current UTC time in JavaScript? I don't need the user's time zone at all. Get UTC date? Oh, yes. Okay. So I think we can do this better, but can I just do this? That'd be awesome if I could just do that. Const today. I don't know if I can do that, but we'll see. Do you freak out on me? Let's console log out our today too. Console log. Yeah, you can do that, but you don't get the user's IP address, TeamView, in Alexa. You don't get that information. No IP addresses. Okay, get UTC date. So quit. You know I'm excited about something when I go way over time just to try and finish it. So this goes
Welcome to the
orange,
Chatcino.
blue,
You currently have 3,265
Orange.
coins available.
and then white.
You have played slots 100% of the time. You should give poker or roulette a try today. What would you like to do?
Today is 30. Oh, that just gives me... I need like the date time, dummies. It gave me 30 because it's the 30th. I need... Get UTC... Do I have to get them all individually? I think I have to get them all individually. Ugh. Okay, I hate JavaScript. Okay. So we're going to call this day. We'll call it UTC day. And then const UTC month. No, let's do this right way. Const date equals new date. I want to do them all from the same variable. And then this is going to be date.getUTC date. And this is going to be date.getUTC month. And this is going to be UTC year. date dot get UTC year full year. Yeah, let's do it. Full year. No, I don't hate Node. I sometimes hate JavaScript. I don't hate Node. So now that I have those, I can say my first condition is going to be if set 0. I'm assuming I can refer to them that way. We'll just find out. Equals no, we're gonna have to do it this way. Session set 0. What? I'm gonna have to create a date object under these, aren't I? JavaScript new date. I could put something in there though, right? Year, month, day. Year, month, day. Okay. So we'll do if new date get I see, okay. Get year. Let's see, const first date equals new date. We're going to take session set get year, put that in there. Then we're going to do a comma and say get, they say year, month, day, year, month, day. So this becomes get month. Hopefully this works. This will be okay, what am I forgetting? Oh, parentheses. Okay, so console log first date. All right, let's try that. Quit. Open.
Jeff, there was an error. What should we do now?
Today is not defined. Because it's not today. It's... I don't need this. Okay. Quit. Open.
Jeff, there was an error. What
Wow.
should we do now?
Cannot get property get year of undefined. But right here I can see what if I just say this? It might let me get away with that because these are strings technically. That's what it's giving me back as a string. Let's see. Quit. Open. Cool.
Welcome to the Chatsino. You currently have 3,271 coins available. You have played slots 100% of the time. You should give poker or roulette a try today. What would you like to do?
Okay. There's got to be like a string to date function. Let's see. Date parse. Perfect. Not even sure I need the new date then. I can just do this. Oh, is there anyone that loves date time coding? I don't like it at all. I really hate it actually. All right, quit. It seems so simple.
Welcome to the Chatsino. You currently have 3,273 coins available. You have played slots 100% of the time. You should give poker or roulette a try today. What would you like to do?
First date, not a number. Let me make sure I'm referring to sets properly. Yeah, the problem, TeamView, is that that's not UTC. That's the time of whatever server or computer you're running on. I need it to be universal time, which is Greenwich, because that's where I'm storing all my data values. I need all the times to match. So you have to be very careful about time zones. One of the things that I'm not seeing, let me see if I can find another reference, but the one thing I'm not seeing in here, in all of these examples, is where I try to retrieve a value. I mean, I have like my set has and then 1, but that's checking to see if 1 is actually in there. What I want to do is see what is the value in the first slot. They're not really showing me that. Convert set to an array object with array.from. Okay, maybe we just do that, because then I can get into this. So array.from on session set. Let's see if that works. That'd be pretty awesome if I could just do that. Let's do a quit. I feel like we're so close to being able to make this happen. No errors is good.
Welcome to the Chatsino. You currently have 3,275 coins available. You have played slots 100% of the time. You should give poker or roulette a try today. What would you like to do?
Okay, so now I should be able to say if new date session set get year. I know, I don't need any of this. Let's do if first date dot get year equals UTC year. And first date dot get month equals UTC month, and first date dot get date equals UTC day, then console log. We already have a record for today. All right, that's a long way to determine whether the first record in my database for this specific user is already today, but I think that gets us what I want. Gets me what I want. So now we just need to see if that comment works, and then I'm gonna have to stop because I do have things to do at work.
Jeff, there was an error. What should we do now?
FirstDate.getYear is not a function. Okay, new date. I was hoping maybe I could get rid of that, but maybe not. We should also be loading up this table with records, yeah. Okay, quit, open.
Welcome to the Chatsino. You currently have 3,279 coins available. You have played slots 100% of the time. You should give poker or roulette a try today. What would you like to do?
9/30/2020 and 9/30/2020 should match, but they don't match. What if I change this from date dot get year and date dot get month, date dot get date. I mean, this seems like it should be working. Oh, you know what? You're probably right. It probably was that. Let's back it up because I like having those individual variables. You guys are amazing. Thank you for that. That should do it. Year, month, day. Okay. Saved. Quit one more time. Open. No errors. Nice.
Welcome to the Chatsino. You currently have 3,281 coins available. You have played slots 100% of the time. You should give poker or roulette a try today. What would you like to do?
Still didn't match. Still didn't match. I should have this console log statement if that worked. All right, let's do this again. Date dot get full year. Date dot get month. And date dot get date. These should be matching. Let's also log console log date right here. That way I can see them right next to each other. All right. Really got to go. This has been fun today, though. We made some good progress, and we're adding a new feature. We're not going to finish it.
Welcome to the Chatsino.
But we can at least say we
You currently have 3,283 coins available. You have played slots 100% of the time. You should give poker or roulette a try today. What would you like to do?
That time is really annoying. I actually don't know why that would be the issue, but I wonder if I could do const today equals new date, and I take these. UTC full year first. And UTC month. And UTC date. I'm totally with you, Mr. Smoothie. It really does feel like it should work. But what I'm doing now is I'm getting my date, and then I'm creating another date object that has only the year and the month and the day of that. And let's change these to date, and then let's do another one, just so we can see these all nice and in order. Today, and then this should be today, today, and today. So what I'm doing is I'm ripping the time out. It seems like the comparison I'm doing shouldn't involve the time at all, but it seems to be failing for some reason. So let's see if I can basically create a new date object that only has the data that I want for a date object, and then we'll compare those. Quit. Once this works, I'm leaving. I gotta go.
Welcome to the Chatsino. You currently have 3,285 coins available. You have played slots 100% of the time. You should give poker or roulette a try today. What would you like to do?
Interesting. That's why. Why would that happen? I mean, I could do 0, 0, 0. 0. But it really feels like this should be easier. Yeah, but I'm asking for the UTC full day, but I guess the new date, it's going to fill in any other times that it has. So, okay, hopefully that'll get us there. Now I'm hard-coded all of the values for the time.
Welcome to the Chatsino. You currently have 3,287 coins available. You have played slots 100% of the time. You should give poker or roulette a try today.
How?
What would you like to do?
How is that happening? Okay, we're going to try one more thing. Let's do some magic hiding of values as a string. And then in here we're going to do a date.parse. Yeah, this would be much, much easier in C#. I agree with you, Mr. Smoothie. All right, let's try one more time and see. This is annoying.
Welcome to the Chatsino. You currently have 3,289 coins available. You have played slots 100% of the time. You should give poker or roulette a try today. What would you like to do?
So you think, well, but do I need those numbers? Yeah, I just don't understand why the if statement is failing. I did notice that my today is coming back 08. I don't know if it's, has it always been like that? Have I just not noticed that it's coming back as 08? I'm gonna run out of space here, yeah. I mean, that would certainly cause an issue if the date numbers don't match. But I would think if they're both date objects, they would both come back with the same value. Let's see what Mr. Smoofy's dropping on me here. Where is my Twitch window? Okay, so could I just do like it's date.capital UTC? Maybe I can just do that. Let's take all of this nonsense away for a second. And this needs to be date. This should be simple. I really am surprised this has been proving so hard. Do we get an error?
Jeff,
Yeah.
there was an error. What should we do now?
I was worried about that. Date UTC is not a constructor, so I can say new date. Like so.
Welcome to the Chatsino. You currently have 3,293 coins available. You have played
See,
slots
is it-
100% of the time. You should give poker or roulette a try today. What would you like to do?
Invalid date. Yeah, it looks like I have. That's for when I specifically want to create a UTC date, which doesn't really solve my problem. Man, this is crazy. Okay, so let's go back to creating a date object. And then we get our UTC day, month, and year. Simplify. If the year matches, UTC here. Sevcan Alcon, good morning. Hello. Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the Chatsino.
Welcome to the
You
Chatsino.
currently have 3,295 coins available. You have played slots 100% of the time. You should give poker or roulette a try today.
There are
What would you
some
like to do?
there are some commands there that you can try right there below the Chatsino leaderboard. If you'd like to give the casino a try, you already have a balance of 100 coins. You can go ahead and wager and gamble all of your free coins as much as you'd like right here in the chat. So feel free to get in there. Oh my gosh, look at this, Mr. Smoofy. That worked when only comparing on the year. Okay, so let's add month. First date dot get month equals UTC month. Let's see if that gets us anything.
Welcome to the Chatsino. You currently have 3,297 coins available. You have played slots 100% of the time. You should give poker or roulette a try today. What would you like to do?
First date dot get. I think this is my challenge. I was saying get date, but I think I want get day. Get day of the week. I don't want that. Get date 1 to 31. That's the one I want. Get date. UTC date. What does get UTC date give me? Month 1 to 31. Okay, these should... This is the same thing I had before. So, I don't really understand, but there will be a small party here if this does work.
Jeff, there was an error.
Really?
What should we do now?
What is my error? Okay.
Welcome to the Chatsino. You currently have 3,301 coins available. You have played slots 100% of the time. You should give poker or roulette a try today.
It's the
What
day.
would you like to do?
The day, the date, whatever. That's the issue. So let's look at what these are. How could these not be matching? Date and first date both have a 30. So let's write these out. Console log. This will be first date, get date, and this will be UTC day. I have no idea how these could be different, but we'll try.
Welcome to the Chatsino. You currently have 3,303 coins available. You have played slots 100% of the time. You should give poker or roulette a try today.
What?
What would you like to do?
Shut up. How can that be 29? I don't even remotely understand how that can be. Get date is 1 to 31, right? We're not doing this like arrays. Get date. Returns a value from 1 to 31. So if it's the 30th, it should return me the right number. But it's not. It's returning me 29, even though I can see very clearly that first date is the 30th. I have a theory. Date. What is it? Date add. D dot set milliseconds. Let's do this. First date dot set milliseconds. I wonder if that gets it. I'm testing a theory that a time that is of 0, somehow thinks it's the day before. Nope. I think it's this. Get UTC month. Get UTC date. I'll bet that's it. Let's not add our milliseconds yet. I'll bet it's the UTC that is the issue. Because I give it a date that is technically a UTC date, and then when I say get day, well, I'm 4 hours before the date I just gave you, which would mean 4 hours earlier, which means yesterday. I think that's the problem.
Welcome to the Chatsino. You currently have 3,305 coins available.
Holy crap, that was it.
100% of the time.
All right, Mr. Smoofy, so that was the issue.
Or roulette a try today.
I'm giving
What
it
would you like to do?
I'm giving it this date. But then I was saying get date, which is the time now. So it subtracted 4 hours from it. Okay. So that was the issue. So we can get rid of all these console logs. Make this nice and simple. And now we know whether or not they already have a record today. I'm going to have to do some kind of clever logic, though, to figure out how to log a streak. I don't exactly know how to do that yet, but we'll figure it out without writing a bunch of crazy if statements. There's got to be a better way. Okay. So I think we're good for today. So I'm going to leave myself a note here. We need to finally return an integer that represents a user's current daily streak. So I could just say something like return 3. Now I'm not doing anything with that yet, so we also need to leave ourselves a note here. We need to store the streak value in the user's session so that we can award things. Okay. That's where we're going to have to leave off for today. That's going to have to be it. We got a bonus 42 minutes out of today, though. And it was all fighting with date time and UTC time, and I hate daytime and calendars, and I never, ever want to work with it again. So we learned that today, at least. Thank you guys all for coming today. It was a solid, almost 3-hour stream, and I'll be back here again tomorrow morning. So look forward to seeing all of you.